Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect. This is episode 37, and today's date is March 23rd, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known to the rest of everyone.
And I am Jimbo, also known as Jimbo Slice 23. What have you been up to this week, Duds?
Butchering the intro. That's what I've been up to.
I almost butchered it. I just gave you a long so I finished.
When in doubt, go with
Yeah, it's the Mondayest Monday ever today.
Yeah, I have to agree with that saying. Yeah, so this past week, it's been a lot of my own survival episode stuff. I've been doing a decent amount of work on stream, actually, which is weird because streams for me usually aren't a get a lot of progress done type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I traveled, I found a jungle, got some jungle saplings, moved some villagers, bred some villagers, just lots of like little things. So I was
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a mending villager, which is sweet.
Oh yeah.
He's 18 emeralds, so he's not expensive either.
No, it's not bad.
So I was working on finally getting diamond armor. For people who watching the series or whatever, it's like I've been wearing golden leather armor the entire time. Basically, whatever zombies drop from my grinder is what I've been wearing. Now, that being said, it's decent armor. Like, my boots have Depth Strider 3, Protection 4, Feather Falling 4, and Unbreaking 3. It's decent gear.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that the gear that's been dropping lately, like you can get, it's not the best kind, the leather or gold. It won't last long, but they don't have bad enchantments on it, especially for early game.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up. So I'm making this diamond armor, right? I'm getting better enchantments off loot zombies are dropping than I'm getting from the enchantment table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happened to the enchantment table, but getting multiple enchanted items on one piece of armor is next to impossible nowadays.
Yeah, and that makes it hard to keep diamonds because you got to combine 2 chest plates, which are 8 diamonds apiece. I mean, that's an expensive chest plate.
Well, I was talking in my episode that I finally maxed out and I got my good armor complete with mending all over it and stuff. It's the most expensive armor set I've ever had in Minecraft. It cost over a stack of diamonds to make.
Jeez.
And I was just like, are you kidding me?
That's the beauty about the villagers. Like, you can get your armor from the villagers. I don't think you can get every piece of armor, but you can get something, with certain enchantment. But then you got to hope they have a good enchantment on it. If not, I mean, there is the grindstone, so.
Right, that's true too. But I don't think the grindstone takes away, like, curses. So if you get stuck with a curse, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, it is a curse.
But yeah, so I got the most expensive armor known to man, and I've been wearing that. I also, to get emeralds and stuff to trade, hang on. Y'all didn't hear that, but I just coughed really loudly. I moved a cleric down into my zombie grinder, which I didn't record because I didn't think it would be that interesting, but it was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Yeah. So to get to my zombie grinder, you go through my AFK fishing area, and I've got a ladder that drops you like 30 blocks, and then you can walk around the corner and boom, there's the grinder, right? Well, to move the cleric, I don't have rails and stuff like that. I'm broke. Iron at this point was still a real pain to get. So I was like, how do I move this stuff? And I'm looking into mechanics of villagers and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, they want to go to their little workbench or point of interest block multiple times a day. So what did I do? I took a brewing stand, put it like 10 blocks in front of the villager. He went, oh, brewing stand, and walked towards it, and I'd break the brewing stand, move that 10 blocks, and he, oh, brewing stand. And
it's like leading him with candy.
Yeah, I only had to move him like 40 blocks. So I did 2 high walls on either side to make sure he kind of stayed in a path, and he'd walk up in there. And then when I got into the AFK fishing room, I ripped out the ladder and put water at the bottom of the hole. So as I went up, I broke the ladder, and then I put the brewing stand on the other side of the hole. And this villager, as soon as I put that brewing stand, went, oh, brewing stand, and like jumped into the hole.
Just dive bombed.
Just dive bombed, and then I'm like, thank God I remembered to put water at the bottom of that hole.
Cannonball.
He just dove right in there, broke the brewing stand, moved him another like 10 or so blocks into place, put the brewing stand down, locked him in. I said, bingo. And he's been my main way of getting emeralds so far, just trading rotten flesh.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good to have one of those right next to your grinder. I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually you'd get it. So, I mean, before, if you would have a cleric, you could always use it with your grinder. But don't they lock up? They used to lock up and stuff. But now with the station, you can keep on trading. Or is it how many trades?
You can trade 2 times a day before they won't work again. But the zombie grinder's so slow that I don't ever get enough rotten flesh to lock him up.
Okay.
So, yeah, and getting the levels to constantly combine armor pieces, it was a very rough. I did it within like 2 to 3 days, and I'm gonna spend an hour getting levels, and then I finally get my chest plate done or something, and then I go, I'm gonna spend an hour getting more levels, and now I've got half my boots done. And
yeah,
it sucks so bad. It's to the point where like my next big project is gonna be getting levels, and I'm to the point where it's either gonna be a gold farm, because I've decided I'm building one before the Nether update, or it's gonna be a blaze farm, because at least the blaze farm is still useful if I have to like smelt a lot of stuff at one time.
Yeah,
I can. Blaze fuel is a lot easier to get than kelp blocks, which I'm using now.
Yeah, they last longer too, I'm pretty sure.
That being said, on stream, I went and I found another fortress. I explored that a little bit, got really scared and chickened out and ran away. Mainly because I accidentally hit a pigman.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to die. Nope. And it turns out there wasn't enough mobs in the area for some reason, which I don't understand because I'm playing on hard difficulty. But yeah, there's that. I ended up going back and decided it's now or never, and I built an iron farm. I halfway built an iron farm. Only one stage of 2 is working, and that's mainly because I need my villagers to breed up again. Because if I were to I have 6 villagers, I've put all of them in the farm, now I can't breed more villagers, so I need them to breed at least 2 more. Yeah. So, yeah, but my iron farm is working. I put it in a really cool location. I'm not going to do any crazy decorating with it, because I found, like, golems will spawn in random spots.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, not chancing it. And the spot I put it, it's underground. Turns out there were no caves where I was putting it, which you'd think that'd be awesome. But I have no beacon. I have efficiency 5, yeah, that's great. But I have no beacon, so it's like 3 hours of digging. Because it's just a massive hole.
Now, when you make your iron farm, you need the beds for them to produce the golems. If you were to make like a sorting area, do they need beds to re-loot or to re-trade twice a day, or they don't need a bed?
Yeah, they don't need a bed. My cleric is literally just in a tiny hole with the brewing stand right in front of him.
Okay, so just to breed and produce irons, cats. If you want cats, they produce cats now. Yeah, but yeah, I just noticed people have like trading areas and stuff, and they have golems running around because they have beds there. And I'm thinking, do they need them? I don't think they do, but...
Yeah, you don't need beds to do trades, but you need beds to produce golems, because one of the... So, what people forget when they're building the iron farm is they'll build it, and a golem doesn't, like, magically spawn right away. They're like, well, my farm's broken, what the heck's happening? It's like all your villagers in that farm, which is usually 3, all 3 of them have to go through a work cycle, so they all have to touch their work table, and they all have to at least attempt to sleep before they can call on a golem. So it sometimes takes a Minecraft day to get going. And I mean, this farm I've had, it's been up and running for maybe like 30 minutes, and I've already got 2 stacks of iron, and I'm just like, holy cow, do I really need that other cell? And then I was like, yes, I do.
It's amazing how much easier it is to make nowadays.
Oh, so much easier. The farm itself took me 10 minutes to build. Maybe 20 minutes to move the 3 villagers in place. The zombie is the hardest part, and I got really lucky this time with when I put the zombie in, because this farm's like 10 blocks in the air. But while I was digging it out, I got to a part and I was like, this is where the farm's going to be built. I'm going to go ahead and just build the farm now and then dig out everything underneath it once it's built. And sure enough, as I built the farm, I was like, there's a zombie. I'm going to put him in the cauldron now so I don't have to worry about it later. And sure enough.
Yeah, golems.
I got golems. But yeah, that's kind of it for my week. What about you, Jimbo?
Well, I did a thing on my channel. I made a channel promo.
I've got to do one of those too.
Yeah, it didn't take me too long because I pretty much used my theme music. And what took the longest is, going through and grabbing clips, which is kind of similar to my last video. I grabbed some clips for that, just because it was the season finale. This is the promo of some things on my channel. And I used maybe like 2-second clips really quick that kind of went with the song to show you a little bit of what's to come or what happened. Just future.
What to expect when you're watching this channel.
Yes, exactly. You explain it way better than me, but my channel, a lot of it is I try to base it on humor. Though I do build a lot and I like my farms and stuff. I like to try to make people laugh, so I try to use some of that in there, just to try to promote the humor. And I try to make it pretty quick and to the point. It's only 40 seconds. Doesn't really have to be much longer than that.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got to my mountain. That was my best build, I felt like. So I started there, and as you're scrolling up the mountain, the camera's going up the mountain where I'm sitting at, you see clips that come in and out. And by the time it gets up to me, that's where, I tell a little bit about my channel. But I didn't get too far because I fell, and that's where the humor comes in. But it was a lot of fun. It's pretty easy to make, but it took a lot more thought than I thought, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I've not made one of these yet because thinking of something that only takes 40 seconds, but it's to draw a viewer in and get them to want to be a part of your channel.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yep. What do people want to see? That's pretty much like, I don't know. I always had this mentality where you only have so many seconds, 10 to 15 seconds to draw in a viewer. So I try to make it as exciting as possible right at the beginning for them to keep watching. So they can always click next or click off, but we want them to click subscribe. That's what we want.
Yeah, I have always liked ZF's little channel promo. I don't know if you've watched that, but it's hilarious. But ZF's a hilarious person to start with, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of his stuff is based with humor and stuff.
Yeah. Not
a bad builder, but I watch him for the laughs. Gets me every time.
Exactly. You don't watch him for the most efficient redstone build.
No. But it's funny to watch.
Yeah. If any of you guys are watching his series for season 7 of Hermitcraft, you understand why I said that.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of my humor is, or a lot of the channel is based off the humor, kind of like his. But besides that, I also went into the Nether in survival. Now, when the update come out, I kind of went in creative, and I flew around, and I'm looking around, and I did a couple experiments. I was looking at blocks and stuff, but I didn't go in survival, and this time I did. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to just roam around in there. I kind of started out in there just to see, how it would be, how hostile it is. What is it? The warthogs? Is that what they're called?
Hoglins.
Hoglins? Just the hogs?
Yeah, the hoglins.
Aren't the hoglins no, that's piglins. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm a Minecraft expert, guys. But yeah, the hoglins are pretty much the ones you want to avoid. Yeah. So I unless you have one of those warp mushrooms or fungi. Yeah, I didn't really realize it that I was near one and they kept running from me. And I'm like, yeah, you better walk on, I'm like messing with them. And here I noticed there was a warp fungus next to me. So I picked it up, and if I were to come across them, I would slap it down real quick, and they would run away if I was overwhelmed.
Because that was my one thing. I didn't know if you had to constantly put it down or if you could hold it in your hand.
No, yeah, you have to put it down. They don't recognize it in your hand. So
which stinks, because that'd be a great thing for the offhand to just hold one of those fungus.
Yeah, like like you're in a bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was holding it. I was like, they can't touch me with this. I just realized that. And this is like an hour in to me exploring the Nether, which when I came into the Nether, I was in a spot I couldn't really get out. Kind of put myself in a hard place. But Netherrack is pretty easy to mine out, even with your hand. It might take a minute, but it's a lot quicker than stone or it's insta-mine, kind of, but not with your hand. But it's pretty quick. So once I got to the biome, the warp biome, I was able to get my wood and get my pickaxe, and that led to gold. Gold's pretty abundant, so I was able to get gold boots fairly easy, and then I could blend in with the piglins. And that's where you barter to get more items. So I was real interested in the bartering part, because a lot of the mining I've done was, in survival by hand. I didn't do it in creative and give them a bunch of gold. I had to go look for this stuff. And I noticed you get crying obsidian more than regular obsidian. I didn't think that was a thing. And crying obsidian, you can't make a portal with anymore. So I wanted obsidian to, try to make my way out. But I was getting a lot of different things that I really didn't realize. They'll throw you like 20 to 30 iron nuggets at once. Yeah, if you give them, it's got to be an ingot. You can't give them armor, gold armor. You can't give them a gold pickaxe. You can't give them a gold nugget. It's got to be a gold ingot. They won't take anything else. And like I think they threw me like 16 string at once. Yeah, they throw you a lot. If they throw you something, they're throwing you a lot of it. Except for obsidian, you get one. Pearls, I got like 6 ender pearls they threw me. I'm like, wow, they're pretty generous. These guys are pretty cool. But I just made my way around to different biomes, just exploring a little bit in survival, and it was a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun. It's not as hard as it may seem, because gold is pretty abundant, and if you have some type of gold armor on, you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I did see, like, if you don't want to mine the gold ore, if you have a silk touch, you can put that in the furnace and you'll get an ingot, kind of like ironworks.
Yeah.
So I know if you break it, you get nuggets, but if you furnace it, you'll get an ingot. So there's a way to be more efficient in your mining endeavors if you can get a silk touch pickaxe.
Yes, and I did notice I had a wood pickaxe at first, and you can mine the gold with the wood pickaxe, but I was getting maybe 4 to 5 ingots with that. With the gold, it's not too bad. With the gold, I might have got 6, 7. The gold pickaxe, and I really didn't experiment after that. I was able to get the gold nuggets to make iron nuggets to get the iron pickaxe eventually, and that's what I used. I think the gold pick and the iron pick actually gave you the same amount, but I would suggest smelting it if you could.
But you got to have silk touch for that, so
yeah.
And the only real way to get out of the Nether, if you trap yourself in there, though, is the bartering, right? Because you need a diamond pickaxe to mine obsidian, so you're not going to be getting any obsidian. Well, I don't think you can just find obsidian in the Nether yet, can you? I know there was talks of like abandoned portals might be a thing.
Well, there's always the Nether fortress. I think I found 2 pieces in there. Okay. Yeah, I found a couple diamonds in the Nether fortress, which I was able to make a sword. About that. Yeah, so there's still other places to loot, but bartering was huge. I had a full inventory just from bartering, and it was just cool to see the rates and stuff. And they threw what was it, fire potions or fire resistance potions at me. They threw splash potions of fire resistance. I got the soul speed level 3 boots. They were iron, but I was really those are more rare, but probably more common than obsidian. Pretty crazy.
Cool. I'm wondering how like the bartering system's gonna work when it fully comes out. I know they've played with it a couple already, but I mean, my grand goal is to build a nice gold farm and have those guys, piglins, attached to the gold farm. So I like can flip a switch, and instead of storing the gold ingots, it just starts throwing the gold ingots at these piglins.
Yeah, just rain on them.
They could start bartering. Of course, now I'm going, how the heck am I going to get a piglin above the Nether? That's going to be the hard part. I know you can still break bedrock and stuff like that, but as far as I can tell, it's still a lot of work. And really, most anyone breaks one block at a time.
Yeah.
And moving a mob vertically one block at a time is kind of a pain. Ooh, you could, because mobs can climb scaffolding and ladders if I'm correct. You could do scaffolding block or a ladder through that one wide hole and then take off your gold armor. And hopefully they'll chase you through the hole.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That could be something.
Yeah, it's one way to get them up there.
Mm-hmm. But was that it for your adventure in the Nether?
Yeah, I'd like to go a little more in depth, but I have an idea for it. So I'd like to stop there. But I do want to say it was a lot of fun. It can get hostile. There wasn't as many gas as I thought. Like, I know there was before. I think they kind of chilled out on that a little bit. Enderman, there's a good bit of Enderman in there. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I found the piglins in the Nether Waste. They're abundant in the Crimson. But, yeah, besides that, that's about it.
Yeah, I knew Endermen in the Nether have become abundant because that's where I'm getting all my Ender Pearls from. Every time I'm in the Nether, I just kind of look around and there's at least 3 or 4 I can see. Mm-hmm. And I just go at them and kill them. Of course, now I'm fully protected in diamond armor, so I don't have to hide under a too high platform. I can just walk up to them and start smacking the crap out of them.
Yeah, granted, I got way more pearls bartering than...
That's true.
So I didn't really have to attack. Pretty cool.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Minecraft news, because I'm sure that's what a lot of people are here for, considering how our survey episode went last week. By the way, if you guys listened all the way through that, thank you so much. You don't understand how much that survey really helps us. So we're already trying to implement cool stuff from that survey. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyways, on to the news. We got Snapshot 20W12A. This is kind of, I'm calling it the cool Snapshot, because this is when they're implementing features that have been requested for a while, and they're pretty nifty.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and read through the features, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about each one individually before we get into the changes and bugs, fixes, and everything like that. So the first feature is they've added the respawn anchor, and the respawn anchor is a block you can build out of crying obsidian, and what's the other?
Glowstone?
Glowstone, yeah, it's like 6 crying obsidian and 3 glowstone, and that'll create this respawn anchor, which you can charge up using 4 glowstone blocks, and that gives you 4 respawn points when you die. That one was building up, my bad.
I do want to mention before you move on, I did not know how to make those. I wanted to make one of those, and I didn't know how to craft one, so
yeah,
thank you for telling me.
Yes, 3 crying obsidian on top, 3 glowstone in the middle, and then 3 crying obsidian in the bottom. It's like a glowstone sandwich.
Okay. Yeah, I must have missed that part in the snapshot news, but
yeah. So yeah, you get a max respawn 4 times. My thing is, I haven't seen anyone, like, if I set one of these things and I walk away and I sleep in a bed, is it still going to teleport me to the Nether when I die?
That's a good point.
Does this anchor override everything?
Yeah, it depends where you die, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. And if I come back into the Nether, do I need to, like, re-click this anchor and get reset?
Yeah, those are good questions.
All right, I said we were going to go through all this, and then we stopped on the first one.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it, and then we can get back to this respawn anchor. All right. They've added Polished Basalt. So you just take your basalt you mine, and you put it in your furnace, and now you've got a smooth-ish, I'm adding the ish, texture to your basalt. Warped and Crimson Nylium can now be bone mealed to get, like, the fungi and the weird grass-style vegetation. Yeah, I think it's a good word for that. Also, hoes are now the appropriate tool for sponges and wet sponges. Hoes are getting a lot of work done lately.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move back to that respawn anchor, because it's such a cool block. One, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
I love the texture. I love how a lot of the new textures are starting to get animations with them.
Yep.
And the fact that the top is portal-ish, one, confuses the crap out of me because you can't walk through the block. And from what I can tell, you don't respawn on the block. You respawn next to the block.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get that, but it's a very cool texture. The fact that it's got this like sun texture that lights up to let you know how many charges you have left. So
Yep.
if you have no glowstone in there, there's no yellow sun style gem. And then if you put one in there, there's like a quarter of the sun. If you put two in there, you got half, so on and so on until you get 4.
Yeah.
Also, as you put the glowstone in, the respawn anchor lets off more and more light, which I think's a great little nod to the fact that you're putting glowstone in it.
Yeah.
So the glowstone's making this block brighter and brighter.
Yeah, that is pretty clever. Do you like that?
Sorry, I had to take a big drink. I'm sure you guys can hear me starting to want to cough. I've barely coughed all day, and then we sit down to do the podcast, and it's just like...
Yep. That's how it goes. I have trouble with my drinks. So, like, right before the podcast, I'll take a drink, and I don't know if I'm breathing at the wrong time. But, it goes down the wrong pipe sometimes before the podcast, and I got to kind of cough it out.
Yeah. Well, for me, I can go hours without saying a word to anybody, and then we sit down and do the podcast. I mean, you are talking for about an hour before we do the recording, and then we're talking for about another hour doing the recording, and then we're talking for about another hour after the recording. So I just constantly talking.
Yeah.
It's making me cough a lot. Which, so much editing is going to go into this video, by the way, guys. So respawn anchor. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed. The big thing is I want to know, will a respawn banker override your bed? Or if you sleep in a bed after setting one of these things and it still has charges, will your bed override that? Kind of like how you can sleep in multiple beds and whatever your last bed you slept in will override it.
Yeah, that is a good question. Never really thought about that.
Yeah.
I noticed they made like a PvP arena with that anchor because you can respawn right next to it. And if you put 4 glowstone in there, if you were to fight someone, it would keep your score. And I thought that was a really cool way to use it.
Yeah.
But I think it's only active in the Nether. You can't use it outside.
Well, here's the other thing. If you put down the respawn anchor and you put 4 charges in there, do I know that you put 4 charges in there? Like if I randomly walk up on this, will it show 4 charges? Or will it be empty and then I have to put the glowstone in? Or could I
put 1 charge
take
in
some
there
of your
and someone
Well, can I just click on it, not put any charges in there and just take one of your charges without you knowing?
Didn't
It's
hear
tricky
that.
stuff.
But now I'm curious if like someone has half of a charged up obsidian block, can you put 2 more and both of you have charges in the same block?
Right. They did mention that player UID changed, and it's to allow setting spawns in other biomes, or not biomes, but worlds, such as the Nether and the End. So I think it kind of keeps track individually. I think it's going to work like an ender chest.
Yeah, okay.
But
That makes sense.
I'm not sure.
It'd just be cool if like 4 people came up and they all put a glowstone in there. So if anyone died, they would all respawn at that one block.
Well, I mean, they would because they all put a charge in there.
Yeah, I was
but
just
if
curious.
one person died 4 times, I have the feeling it's only going to respawn them once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the player UI.
Yeah. Also, the respawn anchor only works in the Nether. If you put it in the overworld, if you put it in the End, and you click on it, it's going to blow up like a bed.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Don't use it anywhere else, even though it's such a good-looking block. Like, I have ideas where you could put this somewhere and use it kind of like a lamppost and stuff, and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
No, everything's got to blow up.
You can't even place it?
I don't know. But if you're using it for a light block, you have to put glowstone in it for it to get bright. I think by itself it has a light level of 2, so it's like,
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. But let's go on to the Polished Basalt.
Yeah.
Because this is a really cool thing, but also feels like it's missing something at the same time. I'll let you talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so I know exactly what it's missing. The smooth variant. Now, it smelts to become the polished, and it's kind of similar. I mean, if you have a polished andesite, it's going to look like the regular andesite except polished, which is what they did. Fine. But you're smelting it, and usually it becomes smooth. And I feel like we need a smooth variant of the basalt that looks similar to the netherite block. Because a lot of people want to play with that block, and a lot of people aren't. So I feel like it's not going to have the same, attributes. It's not going to work on a beacon. It's not going to. It's just for looks, and I feel like they can come up with something. Maybe 3 variants of that basalt block.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I think their biggest problem in all of this is the fact that they made the netherite block look so good. They should have just made it purple, and no one would care.
That's a good point.
No one likes purple, so just make it like that, and no one would have a problem.
Yeah, it just looks like it'd be so usable in so many different ways. I did get a suggestion. I can't read it because I turned my phone off, which is a great idea for me to do. But it was from Gamertron13 on Twitter. He mentioned, what if you could take your basalt, combine it with iron, and call it Fool's Netherite? It would look like the netherite block, except it wouldn't, it would be like what I said, the smooth variant of the basalt. And I thought that was a great idea. Like to see something like that happen.
Yeah, I could see it. I would rather just be able to take, like, if you take polished basalt and maybe you take 4 polished basalt, you can then make a smooth basalt. Kind of like how you take cobblestone and you smelt it, you get smooth stone, but then you take that and you can create stone bricks. So instead of creating the smooth texture through the furnace because they've already gone with polished, I don't know.
Yeah, or if you smelt it twice, like you get cobble to stone to smooth stone. So yeah, maybe if you smelt it twice, it could.
Yeah, maybe smelting it again is.
Yeah. We want the netherite. We want that block to play with. Can we get it? Can we get one of those?
Well, I'm fine with the texture of the basalt. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't say texture. The coloration of the texture is really good. I think it's a very useful thing. But the texture in itself, to me, will have a very limited use. I have a couple uses already for it. But to be able to take that and get the texture of the netherite, but with the coloration of basalt, would be super useful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there are ways to use basalt, but yeah, that netherite block, that's the only thing on my mind right now. Sorry, excuse me.
All right, well, we're going to move on for that. We're going to get into the warped crimson Nylium bone mealification going on. So before, basically, to get this vegetation, you'd have to pick it yourself. I think shears are the way to go, just like it is for grass in the overworld. You don't have to do that now. I think that was kind of going to be a given feature at some point. It's kind of like you do it this way in the overworld, you kind of got to do it this way in the nether. And sure enough, now you can.
Yeah, I did try that when I was in the nether. I would take warp vines or the warped, the spiral twist.
You're talking about the twisty vines?
Yeah, the twisty vines. And to get up to places, I could take bone meal from a skeleton that I killed and was able to get up to different places. I was able to use that.
Yeah.
And to get down, you could do the same with the crimson vines. So it does give a different element. I like it. And it's random. You bone meal it. It could go one extra length or 7. It's pretty random.
But this added feature is talking about how now you can get the grass and fungi and all that stuff. So if you were wanting a fungi farm, you could just bone meal the Nylium.
Okay.
And you'd get a bunch of fungi.
Okay. I thought it was the twisted vines in the...
No, that was last snapshot.
Was that the last... Okay.
We've talked about that.
Oh, okay.
Jimbo's so lost in days. This is what happens when you play 7 Days to Die 7 days a week.
Well, I've been playing the past few days, that's for sure. But I figured I'd throw it out there while I, experienced it for myself.
Exactly. Also, hoes are now the appropriate tool for sponges and wet sponges. A little weird. Yeah. I wouldn't think to use a hoe to mine sponges, but you got to do what you got to do. It just
there's
means
something.
I'll be carrying around a hoe a lot more than I would have before.
Probably
which
in a
kind of
chest.
sucks.
Yeah,
it'll be in the ender chest.
I'm pretty set on my tools that I'm gonna carry around. I'm not gonna. I'll have a hoe on hand now, but I know what you mean. But it's nice to have, a tool for that. It used to take forever. It seemed like it took forever to mine out sponges and wet sponges, but now it's instant.
Yeah, and I've changed how I use tools. Like, I used to never carry my Fortune 3 pickaxe with me. Basically, my Silk Touch was my daily driver. And now I'm to the point where I carry both on me, and it's like, every once in a while, I'm like, hey, I could probably use some cobblestone, and I just switch and rack up some cobblestone that way.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've got some changes that happened in the snapshot. Let's talk about those.
Yes. First change, when fishing, treasure loot can now only be obtained by fishing in open waters. That's a big one. Do you want me to keep reading?
Yeah, go ahead and keep reading. We'll come back and talk to it, because some of these aren't that big of a deal.
Okay. Next is reduce the maximum distance a bee can wander away from its home hive when randomly wandering to around 22 blocks. Nether gold ore can now be mined with any type of pickaxe and drops a few gold nuggets. Parrots imitate hostile mobs less often. Jeez, it's so Monday here. It's so Monday. I can't even talk.
Words are hard, man.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. Parrots do not randomly imitate hostile mobs when game mode is on peaceful. Thank you, Mojang.
Yeah.
New mood detections algorithm for cave sounds is the last one. That one's pretty cool.
All right, let's go back to this AFK fishing thing.
Yeah.
People are mad.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't too happy. In my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't really, I don't know, it kind of makes sense just by what you can get from the villagers nowadays and how easy it is to obtain a certain villager.
100% agree. As someone who's just started a new world and really depended on that AFK fishing for the first week in the world, I got nothing but food from that sucker. And it's not worth it. That being said, there's already people who have figured out a way around this open water thing to build AFK fishers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's face it, it's the Redstone community. Mojang's going to change something, and they're immediately going to come up with a new farm to get back what they just lost. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm with Jimbo in the fact that it's much easier to find a village, to breed some villagers, and trade with villagers more than it is looting a fishing rod.
Yeah.
It took me 3 days to get armored up. It took a week, and I didn't get a single useful book other than Unbreaking 3 from an AFK fisher. That being said, I was armored up by zombie drops from a zombie grinder a lot faster than anything else. So
yeah. Now you do still get fish if you were to use this regular design. It's just the treasure loot. Now you can still get XP, so it could be a good source of XP if you would like to use it. But what I think people are more mad about is them not having a choice now, because some people decide if they're going to use it or not. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. But the fact that they don't have a choice now, it's broken. And the farms that they made up now that they tried to fix, there is a farm made to get treasure loot, but it's very slim. You're not going to get much.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to be on the boat of use it just to get the food, just to get the fish, and you get XP. So there you go. But I'm to the point now where you think about it, chicken farm is way more useful to produce food because you don't have to be with it. It can just run in the background while you're doing other stuff, more important stuff like finding diamonds, because that diamond armor is going to cost a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I'm for it. I don't mind it at all. So
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, let's go to the maximum distance of beacon wanderers, now around 22 blocks. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I wish they can wander to water constantly. That would be my ideal fix change.
Oh, just make it so if they see water, they avoid it, kind of like the hoglins avoid the fungus.
I'm talking dive right into it. That's it.
But yeah, I don't know how many bees I've lost because they just wander off and never come back. Because, like, they'll wander out of range of the hive. And they're like, I don't know where the hive is, so I'm just going to stay here now.
I noticed in videos that people would be out in the middle of the ocean and there's a bee. I'm like, why is there a bee out there? So, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm just joking around with the whole, I wish they would dive in water. I'm not a big bee fan in real life, so I'm kind of, on the fence about the bees in Minecraft. But the honey's great, so you want to keep your bees, and they've been dying a lot because of the whole wandering thing. So it makes sense. It's a good change.
Yeah. The last big new thing would be the new mood detection algorithm for cave sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited for that. I'm tired of getting creepy cave noises on the surface.
Yeah.
I'll be in my house and there's a creepy cave noise and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
What's that? That being said, I've been doing a little bit of caving around my place to light up. There was a cave right underneath my house. It's wherever my ocean wall was. I was down there because I'm trying to kill trident guys where they drowned. Because I'm like, if I get a trident, I'm going to be conquering an ocean monument here soon. But I haven't had one spawn with a trident yet. But anyways, yeah. New cave sounds. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe that means there's a cave update coming in the future.
Yeah, I think they're kind of pointing that way.
Yeah, it's kind of what everyone's asking for.
Yep, and they've been listening.
Let's get into the bugs because we're running pretty late on this episode.
Yeah, and again, we were worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about.
Yeah, well, because of the survey, we're trying to take our time and talk more about the news and what we've done this week, going more in depth on stuff. So again, thank you guys for the survey. If you like this new way of doing it, let us know and we'll keep doing it this way. But yeah, bugs real quick. The big one, the granddaddy of them all, MC-113809. Chorus flower plant, bamboo, sugarcane, cactus, and other plants will grow instantly when supporting block is replaced with the same type of block. That's gone. No more zero tick farms, which I am happy for. I never liked the zero tick farms.
Nope, I wasn't a fan of them.
I get them, and I get they were cool, and I could never complain about them because I've always said that if it's in the game, even if it's not meant to be in the game, completely fine with people using it. Yeah. I didn't like them. I never used them myself, but I saw it wasn't cheating if you were using it.
No, it was actually really clever how they figured that out. Props to whoever figured that out. But yeah, same thing. I wasn't a big fan.
The only things I can see as cheating is like you're playing on a multiplayer server and you're duping diamonds and basically buying the shopping center out. That's the only kind of real cheating that I could see taking advantage of game mechanics and stuff. To me, this next one is my favorite bug fix. The MC-122128 recipe book resets itself to closed state after death. I got so tired of that. Now, that being said, I mainly had a problem with it when I came back and forth through the end. It would constantly close the book. So I wonder if that gets fixed too, but who knows?
Yeah, that was annoying.
It's annoying. It's something I ran into a lot because it's me. I die a lot. But yeah. The other two bugs, I'm not going to read out the MC number or whatever because that's a little weird, but grass and mycelium don't decay underwater. You can now use water to turn mycelium to dirt and then turn that into grass now. That's finally back. That's been broken since, 1.13?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
People have been having to change mycelium to grass manually instead of using water. And then the last one, the Soul Speed enchantment books can be found in chests. They can't now. You can only get them by bartering.
See, now, when I got the Soul Speed enchantment, it was only on the boots. I didn't get a book. And it was only on iron boots. Right. So I'm curious if you can get them on your diamond boots now.
This, I literally copied straight from the website. So they're saying there's an enchantment book somewhere.
Okay. Maybe a villager?
Maybe. I don't know. I would like that to be an only a piglin thing.
Okay. Because
I think it's such a rare enchantment to use anyways. It would make it cooler if it was only an enchantment you could get by messing with the piglins.
And it does
Some
help.
people might not like that, but
I was able to use it a good bit because, those hoglins are pretty sneaky, but I was able to get away. Granted, they're a little bit slower on that, and I would very rarely catch them when I'm on soul sand, but
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty useful. I enjoyed using the soul speed.
Yeah. Did it, because the durability kind of like randomly goes down based on how often you use it. Did you find it would like degrade and break too quickly, or did you even not even notice? Like, did it stay good for a long period of time?
I didn't even notice, and the thing is, that was the only enchantment on there. Didn't have him breaking, so
Wow.
yeah, I was able to wear him the whole time, and it did vary. I got a soul speed 3 at first. I did end up getting a soul speed 1 pair, so it does vary what they throw to you.
Well, I mean, it only works or only kind of breaks whenever you're using them on the soul sand stuff. So how often were you running on soul sand?
Not too much.
All right.
I might have been in a soul sand valley once.
Okay. We need to kind of have a triathlon to see the length of time, because that's my big thing. If you're putting them on boots with like mending and unbreaking, does the unbreaking affect that enchantment?
Yeah, hopefully.
But you got an Optifine update. What you got?
Yes, Optifine is now 98% done with a projected completion date of April 6th. But that date is just a guess from the Twitter account. But that's great news. People have been waiting for this.
Update's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I know they've been taking a while, but hey, get it right, and we'll go with that.
The thing is, like, 116 is going to be coming out, and then we've got to wait for there.
Hey, not till June 12th.
Well, I'm thinking of something to come back, but I can't. You caught me off guard on there. You caught me off guard.
It's the Mondays.
Hashtag May 12th. That's all I'm going to say.
Anyways, let's get into this week's Discord ad by the one and only Link. Thank you so much, Link.
Hello there, miners and crafters. This is Link. Come and join me on the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with the people that work on the show and other fellow listeners like yourselves. The link is in the show notes. Join today and let's discuss the game we love.
Alright, thanks again, Link.
Thanks,
This week,
Link.
on Block of the Week, in Discord, we asked you to talk about the lectern, scaffolding, and dispenser. Vote on which one you want us to kind of give a little bit of background about and all that good jazz. And you guys voted.
And the winner this week is... Dispenser.
Yeah, why would you guys pick the dispenser? You know how hard it is to come up with useful features for the dispenser? We do have a listener comment on the dispenser, so let's go ahead and do that one first.
Yeah, we got a comment from RPKM, in parentheses. He said, for the dispenser, it would be also cool if the range it can dispense or use the item, it would be equivalent to the redstone input, which would be cool, but also quite annoying. Which I thought that would be pretty neat. I really wasn't going that direction, but yeah, it'd probably get annoying. He's definitely right there. But I thought that was worth mentioning.
I think it would break some farms in some places.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much that you have to worry about it, but it was a cool idea. I'll give him that. It's very outside the box thinking, because the only things I could come up with, other than the normal stuff the dispenser does, I love the fact that the dispenser's got a little bit of love. So not only can they do the place and retract water buckets, they can now shear sheep. I thought that was a game changer. I love that. The place lava and stuff. The only thing I could really think of, well, there's two things. One, be able to place immovable objects. So maybe be able to dispense obsidian. So it would finally kind of give you a way to move immovable objects, even though it's really only just placing it down. But the next was if you could put like an enchanted sword in a dispenser, and it would act kind of like the shears do, and whatever's right next to the dispenser, it would hit it with that sword. So if you have like a skeleton grinder or a zombie grinder, and you put a looting 3 unbreaking 3 sword in there, and just kind of stand there, and that dispenser's on a clock. Easy way to get free XP.
That's a good suggestion. You literally took it out of my mouth, because that was my suggestion. I do
this every week.
I was more on the side of like an axe, to where it could break the wood for you, like on a tree farm.
Oh yeah, that would be a great tree farm.
If you could put axes inside of a bunch of dispensers, you don't have to do that manually now. That's one thing you have to do manually is wood farms. I mean, wood farms, you have the TNT now that does it. It can break it for you, but I just thought that'd be a pretty cool idea. But yeah, pretty similar to yours. Thanks.
No problems. I actually like your version better. I really think that would be an awesome advantage for a tree farm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, get on that. That'd be really cool. Other than that, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that I do like using the dispenser. My favorite way is to transport items up water streams mainly. There's clocks, there's different circuits you can use to the dispenser that detects itself and spits it back out.
Why use a dispenser for that? Not a dropper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking dropper. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
To me, the dropper, because it doesn't launch an item out of it. The dispenser launches an item a good 3 to 4 blocks in the air before it lands.
Yeah, and if you were to collect arrows, it's going to shoot them.
Exactly.
It's not going to dispense them. So, yeah, I was thinking dropper. I don't have this written down. It just popped in my head.
Well, see, that brings my next thing is the dispenser and the dropper. They look so similar. The only difference being the hole. The dropper is square and the dispenser circular. I'd like to see a new texture for one of those to really kind of change it up.
Yeah.
And so you could tell them apart easier.
That's a good point.
But other than that, the dispenser was a very hard item to come up with cool new features. They've already been implemented. I mean, the shearing of sheep to me is the greatest thing they've done to dispensers since they made a dispenser.
Yeah.
But other than that, to me, the dropper kind of reigns king because, like you said, item transportation. It's such a easy block to use, and it doesn't cost anything. It's 7 cobblestone and a redstone dust. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
Well, they did make it where you could put used bows in dispensers now. You remember when you used to have to put brand new bows to make dispensers?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's way easier to craft.
Now that you can use used bows, that's also a great thing that they've done to that.
The worst is when you have your infinity flame bow and it's got everything on it that you want, and you turn it into a dispenser.
That's true.
That's the worst. But hey, that's your fault. I've done it before. Just saying.
It had to be on a Monday, right?
Probably not to me. Yeah.
Anyways, we've kind of out of time. Do we want to go ahead and read us out, Jimbo?
Sure. If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com. Tweet us, leave us a voice message to join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
Yeah, this show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be. I want to put it out there. He changed Jimbo's end script.
Yeah, messed me up.
A little before the end. Hey, you got through it. Smooth.
I know.
Nice.
I'm like, whoa, what's that? What's that doing there? Thanks,
It's
Carl.
like a whole full 2 sentences longer now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the amazing music you hear in the intro and the outro was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. Go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you later, guys.